We have new news. We always bring it to you here when we get it. The Supreme Court is allowing President Trump's executive order restricting mail-in voting to continue. It was a split 6-3 decision with all three liberal justices dissenting. CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson joins me now. Jessica, what did the Supreme Court do, and what effect, if anything, will it have on the upcoming midterm elections?
So, two great questions. I'll take them separately. The Supreme Court, as you said, Major, is allowing this executive order to move forward while litigation continues. We should emphasize here that the Supreme Court did not rule on the merits of this challenge. This is a procedural ruling, and the question deals really with whether those challenging the president's executive order have the standing to do so, and if they brought the case too soon. That was really the question before the court, whether or not those challenging the executive order were likely to succeed on those procedural arguments. A divided court today is saying that, in fact, the executive order can, again, go into effect while that fighting continues because they think that the federal government is likely to succeed on their claims that these cases were basically brought too soon. Now, in terms of what's going to happen for the midterm elections, even though even though the Trump administration can move forward with the executive order, we're going to start voting very soon, Major, as you know. And so it's not clear that the administration will have the time to implement the executive order.
And I'm confused in one level, Jessica, because the executive order tries to create new mechanisms by which mail-in voting can be done. Constitution is very clear. Time, manner, and place is the jurisdiction of states and how they administer their elections. And many states, through a legislative process or an initiative process, have decided their means of conducting mail-in balloting. So why would an executive order supersede what has either happened through initiative or legislation?
This is such a good question. Promise me you'll come back to my election law class and ask it again, and we'll have a lengthy conversation.
I'll take it.
Okay, so as you know, the Constitution says who gets to set the time, place, and manner of elections. It's the states. And then, as you also know, the next sentence is unless Congress, not the president, unless Congress makes a contrary statute. Now, here we don't have a statute. We have the president issuing an executive order. So with respect to the substance, I do think that there is a real question here as to whether or not the Trump administration is infringing on what is, as a first matter, the state's prerogative. But again, those questions, as meaty and important as they are separate from what's happening today, which is just the Supreme Court saying, basically, we agree with the federal government. The challenges didn't come to us in the right way or they're too early, but not ruling on that big, meaty constitutional issue that you just asked me about.
Jessica Levinson, always great stuff. Thank you so very, very much.